Let's begin with news coming in on the big war of words between the Kolkata Police and the CBI. Remember how the CBI had said that the crime scene was compromised, and they said this in the Supreme Court too. The Kolkata Police has now released a fresh picture, which is on your screens right now. And in this picture, they've said that look at what's happening around. There are very limited people around. The Kolkata Police maintaining that these are only authorized personnel, meaning police officials, doctors and experts who are at the spot. This is not just the crime scene, but the point of occurrence. What that means is that behind that white sheet is where Abhaya's body was. This was the spot of inquest. And this is a picture put out by the Kolkata Police to back their claims that the crime scene wasn't compromised. So they're saying the point of occurrence, where the body was, there was no sort of tampering whatsoever. It was sealed off and only authorized personnel were allowed there. This is a picture now where the Kolkata Police is saying it corroborates our claims. It says very clearly, it shows very clearly that very limited people were allowed close to the body. They are attempting to counter what the CBI has put out essentially in the Supreme Court, saying not just the crime scene, the point of occurrence has been compromised, has been tampered with. And to counter that, the Kolkata Police has put out this picture from August 9th, from the day when Abhaya's body was found, showing how a white sheet has essentially been put up in the seminar hall, because beyond the white sheet is where Abhaya's body was found. That's where they've put up that particular screen to ensure nobody else could catch a glimpse of the body. And all of the people around, according to the Kolkata Police, are all authorized personnel. Now, if that is really the case, there are several questions that come up. Number one is then who leaked pictures of the body? If these are all authorized personnel, then clearly there was a breach from one of them, which is also hugely concerning. Secondly, you saw all of the back and forth from the hospital and those tapes which we've played out here repeatedly on India Today, in which the hospital administration tells the parents that Abhaya's in a critical condition. She's been moved to the emergency ward. She's passed away now. All of that clearly lies, because her body was very much kept exactly where it was found, even for the inquest. Let me bring in Suryagni Roy as well as Shreya Chatterjee for more details. Suryagni, to you first. The Kolkata Police putting out this particular picture to say, look, at the point of occurrence, not the entire seminar hall, but the point of occurrence was untouched, untampered with, and only limited people were allowed close to Abhaya's body.
Well, Akshita, there needs to be a clarification on this. Kolkata Police has not issued these pictures. These pictures were accessed by us. Then we found that these pictures are out on, on the internet. Now, the Kolkata Police has clarified its stand on these two pictures that we are talking about. In these pictures, Akshita, we can clearly see that this is the point of occurrence, and there are people in and around that particular, cordoned off area. This becomes important because the CBI time and again had stated, even at the Supreme Court, that the point of occurrence was tampered, which had caused them issues in investigation. So now the Kolkata Police, they have reacted on this particular picture that was, out on the internet. They have stated that this picture is from the 9th of August. It's around 4:40-ish when this picture was taken, and it is just after inquest, and no outsider is present in that particular picture which we are talking about. These are all the people who are a part of the investigating team. This becomes important once again. I need to reiterate myself that this becomes important because the CBI had claimed at the Supreme Court that the point of occurrence, PO, that was tampered, which caused them harm in their investigation. Now, speaking on this picture, the Kolkata Police has stated that there were no outsiders in the PO or in the cordoned off area where the body was found. All these people, they were a part of the investigating team. Back to you.
Okay, all right. So, Suryagni, putting those details out for us on exactly what the Kolkata Police's clarification is. So this is not a picture released by the Kolkata Police. It's a picture on which they've clarified to say that these are only authorized personnel who are allowed close to the mortal remains. Shreya Chatterjee is live with us to get us details of what the CBI has to say, because Shreya, the CBI has completely countered that. They say the crime scene has been tampered and compromised. They've said the point of occurrence also was compromised because they say people were allowed inside.
Well, first and foremost, Akshita, for this we have to understand the timeline of the entire piece of investigation. What the Kolkata Police essentially is suggesting that from the time of their appearance in the crime scene, they ensured that the crime scene was not tampered. So the Central Bureau of Investigation, however, will be investigating a pre and a post scene on what exactly transpired, whether there was any kind of interference on the part of the hospital authorities. However, this photograph, as my colleague was rightly pointing it out, somewhere down the line corroborates what Kolkata Police had earlier said, that they had used a white sheet and separated this point of occurrence, which is essentially the dais in the seminar room where the body of the deceased was found. And remember, when a video went viral, that was from the other half. So this is the alibi that the Kolkata Police has been putting in. In this particular photograph, we can see the forensic team doing their work, which is collecting the exhibits, and also subsequently they must have gone ahead with the inquest procedure. So this is what the photo corroborates, and we can also see a Kolkata Police officer who's standing outside the point of occurrence. So this is from the timeline after the Kolkata Police had reached the spot and secured the crime of scene. But clearly, the CBI's investigation into an alleged cover-up continues with something they had also gone on record in the court suggesting that the crime scene was altered. So clearly, we'll have to wait and watch for the investigation.
The question is, okay, at the point of inquest, clearly the area was secured off. So even if, that happened, the question is, before this and after, was there a similar kind of cordoning off that took place? Before perhaps the Kolkata Police reached the spot, was the area compromised? Is that what the CBI is indicating at? Or are they directly pointing fingers at the Kolkata Police and saying that while the cops were deployed there, the crime scene was tampered with?
Well, Akshita, as per the Kolkata Police, and be it on record or on source base, Kolkata Police time and again has maintained that it was 9:30 a.m. On Friday, 3 weeks back exactly. It's a third week. It was 3 weeks back exactly when they were when the body was first seen by someone, and then at around 10:10ish. The Kolkata Police outpost was informed. There is an outpost of the Kolkata Police at the Arjikar hospital, just like in every public hospital. So that is when they were informed, and immediately they had rushed to the spot and they had cordoned off the area at first. Now, as Shreya mentioned, that yes, Kolkata Police has time and again maintained that ever since they were, they arrived at the PO, they arrived at the seminar hall, when they took it over, they made sure that no one had, entered the point of occurrence, or let's say the sealed off space. As Shreya mentioned, some days back we had, spoken about the news of a video that went viral, wherein we could see many people walking around one particular area. Kolkata Police had even clarified their stand on it, that the room was, it's almost 50 feet in length. 40 feet from the point of occurrence was it was sealed, and the crowd that we could see, that too were part of the members, influential members of the hospital, doctors, EMOs, security guards, and parents. That was in the remaining 10% of that seminar hall, and beyond which was the passageway. So Kolkata Police time and again they have maintained that the PO, the point of occurrence, that wasn't tampered with, and it's only them and them only who have been present at the spot. Back to you.
Okay. So they've maintained there's no question of the crime scene being tampered with. They followed due process, due protocol, and perhaps the picture that you see on your screens, this was when the inquest took place. That kind of corroborates what the Kolkata Police maintains, that only authorized personnel were allowed close. There wasn't any sort of crowd around the body, and when the cops came in, they secured that area in the seminar hall. Suryakni, thanks for those details. Shreya, I'll request you to stay on with me, because even as we track the latest on the investigation, and this is what I started off the broadcast with, the kind of politics and protests we're witnessing. Another day, another BJP protest was held. There were many questions again raised about, the protest itself, which the TMC accused them of politicizing the incident. They attempted to protest and march towards the State Women's Commission office. They were, however, detained. But even as this happened, on the other side, there's posturing essentially by both sides. The BJP with their non-stop protests, the TMC with their non-stop shunning the blame, putting the focus on the centre. Mamata Banerjee shot off another letter to Prime Minister Modi, again talking about severe punishment for rape, this time highlighting how there are fast-track courts also in Bengal. And remember that the Mamata government is going to bring in a bill seeking death penalty for rapists. So a state will introduce a bill. We all know the punishment is meted out based on the current laws by the court. So this is clearly just grandstanding to send out a message that, look, we want the death penalty, because nothing more essentially can be done.
Raging protests in Kolkata over the RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital rape and murder horror that continues. Leaders from the BJP Women's Cell were stopped by the police after they tried to gheraw the State Women's Commission. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee meanwhile shot off a second letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Mamata in her letter asks why the Prime Minister did not reply to her first letter personally and why the Union, Women and Child Welfare Ministry responded to her. The Chief Minister also said that the centre played down the contents of the letter and that the seriousness of the issue was not appreciated. Mamata has also said her government will pass a bill in the West Bengal Assembly making rape punishable with death. The BJP has hit back at Chief Minister Mamata, asking her to set up fast-track courts instead of writing letters.
लॉ होने से बात नहीं है, बात है इम्प्लीमेंट करने का। आप इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर रहे। सरकार ने, केंद्र सरकार ने बोला 127 आप फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट खोलिए, आपने नहीं खोला।
Meanwhile, Bengal Governor C.V. Anand Bose met Home Minister Amit Shah at his residence in Delhi and apprised him of the law and order situation in West Bengal.
The Women's Cell of BJP protested in front of the Women Commission Office of West Bengal, seeking justice for the incident of RG Kaur Hospital and also demanding the resignation of Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. With camera person Shattaki, Anirban Sinha Roy for India Today, Kolkata.
So let's tell you about all of the multiple instances of how Mamata Banerjee is trying to send across a message that they are condemning this crime. But how are they doing this? Mamata government isn't focusing really like they should have from day one on the investigation, or for that matter, on what's really happening on ground. Instead, you're seeing a lot of posturing where they're trying to essentially pin the blame on the central government. You've had Mamata Banerjee writing to Prime Minister Modi twice, saying there's a need for exemplary punishment for rapists, saying the central government must take action in this regard. She's also vowed that there will be a bill passed in the Bengal Assembly seeking death penalty for rape. And this is going to happen with a special session expected to be convened next week. You had also Mamata Banerjee, ironically, the Chief Minister, the Home Minister of the state, holding a protest on the streets of Kolkata in her own state, demanding death penalty for rapists. So this has essentially been now the Trinamool Congress's campaign. They're focusing on death penalty for rapists. And Mamata Banerjee saying the onus is on the central government to ensure that this is done. Now, this kind of posturing is, make no mistake, all about politics, because even as the TMC has been under fire over the multiple, over the protests that have happened, the crackdown on protesters, and of course the rape and murder case investigation itself, you're seeing this kind of posturing, letters being written to Prime Minister Modi, protests by Mamata herself over an incident that's happened in her state, and of course a bill that will effectively do nothing but just send out a message. Now, after President Murmu's enough is enough message on the Abhaya rape and murder case, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has also spoken out. He's also expressed his concern over what's happened, saying that fear in the mind of women is a natural concern, and has questioned how can something like this happen in a hospital to a woman. He's also said where women aren't safe, it's not a civilized society. Let's play out for you what the Vice President has had to say.
जहां औरतें, लड़कियां अपने आप को सुरक्षित महसूस नहीं करती, वो समाज सभ्य समाज नहीं है, वो डेमोक्रेसी कलंकित है, वो हमारी प्रगति में सबसे बड़ा अवरोधक है। और आज के दिन the fear in the mind of our girls and women is a cause of concern. It's a national concern. This is painful.
All right, let's bring in Shreya Chatterjee on this. Shreya, while we've played out what the Vice President has to say, I just want to bring the focus back to what we're witnessing on the streets of Kolkata, the protests and politics that's playing out. On both sides, it's clear that they're trying to push their own agenda. For the BJP non-stop protests, they're demanding, conveniently, the resignation of Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee. As far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, they're essentially putting the onus on the central government, only and only talking about punishment, the death penalty for rapists. So much so that they're talking about a bill which will do nothing. In a state to pass a bill about punishment for rape will do nothing. It's ultimately the courts that will decide.
Well, essentially, Akshita, there is a lot of things playing here right now in the state of Kolkata. Essentially, the Trinamool Congress, they want the entire issue to die down, and probably that's the reason they are suggesting that they will be bringing in a law, which is an anti-rape law, that they will be bringing in through the West Bengal Assembly on the 2nd of September. How far that is logical is something that, as you rightly mentioned, will be very soon understood by the people themselves. On the other side, the BJP obviously has realized that this is an opportunity to also ensue the kind of anger that is there within the people largely. But from what I have seen in Kolkata, Akshita, apart from the politics playing out, the civil society at large has distanced from the politics and they continue the dissent. Sporadic protests continue to happen in parts of the city. It's unfortunate, but they do not want to believe the version that is coming in from the investigation of the Kolkata Police, and slowly with the delay that is happening with the CBI investigation, their patience is also losing out. But they hope that justice will be served even when they are distancing from any kind of political affiliation. They continue their protest on the ground. So even if the Trinamool Congress do not want to agree this, there is a dissent within the civil society, and that's not entirely political.
And just quickly, Shreya, there's also a lot of focus on the CBI investigation, and the reality is that while the CBI has been probing this case for 12 plus days, there's not been a single arrest. There's seemingly no headway really on the probe. What's happening on that front?
Well, essentially, Akshita, we've already reported this from CBI sources that the gang rape angle has been ruled out. The CBI essentially understand that this is a rape case. Why it's taking time from the CBI to actually piece the remaining piece of investigation? Because they are looking at the cover-up angle. You do understand that if at all there was a tampering, is what the CBI also suggested in court. They will have to uncover forensic evidence that also back the claim that they have made. That is why, to entirely make their investigation watertight, they are moving back and forth with forensic evidence, scientific evidence. The kind of grilling that the Arjikar former principal is facing today is the 14th time that he's being called by the CBI, and not just the rape and murder case. We do know that the CBI is also looking at the financial irregularities angle. There is a hearing on the 5th of September. We are hoping by that time the CBI will be able to give a better clarity in what transpired in what happened in Arjikar. That's actually something that the entire city of Kolkata is now looking at.
Absolutely. There are so many unanswered questions even now about how this crime took place, and more importantly about the cover-up that was seemingly attempted by the hospital in this case. And hopefully the CBI will be able to answer those questions. Thanks, Shreya, for joining us with all of those details.